one of the best things about it was the education it gave to my family about Korean culture.
Absolutely.
And we just totally fell in love.
Hi everybody, I'm Chad. We are here with the ultimate fans of Crash Landing on You.
I'm Kara.
Kara.
I'm Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
I'm Katie.
I'm Gretel.
And Gretel just recently started watching it, right? Where did you get the pillow?
Online, I kind of just designed it by myself and spent all my money.
So you designed this pillow absolutely on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna guess that your favorite character is Captain Earth. Just to guess. Yeah.
We watched till like 2 or 3 a.m. every night of Christmas break. Could not turn it off. And I'm like laughing out loud in every episode and sobbing in every episode. So every time I would tell my friends, what show do you laugh out loud and sob? I'm sorry, that's like the definition of the best show on earth.
Yeah.
And so I would literally say, this is the best show I've ever seen in my life. And I know that's a major statement, and I 100% stand behind it.
I fully believe that, because you're saying when I got here that it's ruined you. You can't watch other TV shows now.
I can't watch shows anymore because
not the same.
it's just like the level is so high. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's wrecked me. We were driving home from California to Utah, and it's like a 14-hour drive, and I finished the last 3 episodes in the car and on my phone, and I'm like sobbing. I am sobbing, and my husband's like, you're scaring the kids. And the next day, I made my husband watch it with me. So my kids were like 3 episodes behind me because they had seen how much I loved it at my parents' house, but I was way ahead of them because I sent them to bed. But I would stay up and watch. When we finally got to Utah, we all started over as a family watching for the second time. And the second time is even better because you miss so much.
You appreciate it more maybe.
Yes. And then you're like singing along with the songs.
When did you first see it?
Katie would tell me, you have to watch this, and I had the exact same reaction.
Right,
I was
you're like,
Korean dramas,
Yeah.
I've never heard of them before.
Yeah.
I still have the voice text that she sent me. It's like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. You can hear in her voice she is so sleep deprived because she's been staying up
She's just watching them
so
over
like
and
2
over.
or 3 in the morning. She's like, Kara, I'm telling you, this is amazing. As I got towards the last episodes, I think I watched for like 9 hours straight one day.
Wow.
And my sister, who lives with me and wasn't watching this, she's like, what is going on with you? Because I would be laughing out loud and then just sobbing, and she would be like, I don't get what's going on.
My husband, he loved it so much. He wasn't sleeping well because he was just dreaming about North Korea. And he was dreaming about North Korea and South Korea and like what was happening with Yoon City. He was like, I need this to end because I need to be able to sleep to go to work the next day. And he just loved it so much, but he was like frustrated.
He doesn't always show that.
He was dreaming about North Korea. I know, he doesn't.
Is that what
But
you
I know
want?
he loves it.
I'm the personality type that when I love something, I want the people that I love to love what I love because I know it will bring them joy.
And that's why I started my YouTube channel. I'm like obsessed with Korea. I think my family and everybody else was kind of like, all right, this guy's like a little crazy. Like, he just, I feel that like.
Oh, we
vibe.
get that. I get that now because we watched it and then we watched it again. We also became obsessed with Korea.
Right.
We were like, these people are so amazing. Yes, and they're such good people and I want to go there.
How many times through do you think you've seen Crash Landing on You?
4 times.
4 times? 4 times? Oh, it's not even that you know.
My sister Rachel from playing any other music.
It's only Crash Landing on Music, so you got the soundtrack.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Every day.
We're gonna put it in this video. You play the piano, the piano song that Captain Reed created for his brother. It is so good. You nailed it. So I'm excited for everybody to see that.
We have a volleyball carpool. We drive a different girl who's never seen this.
Yeah.
Who's kind of a cool kid.
Yeah.
Bronwyn blasts the soundtrack every time and sings in Korean
Yeah.
the whole way there.
Love it. Love it.
I did a Valentine's box with a picture of the comrades, the Korean love sign, and
Love that. And can I just say I love that you call them the comrades, because like that's what we call
they're
like,
one of my favorite
that's what me and one of my
characters.
friends call them, and like other people they don't know what to call them, but the group of comrades, the best.
They're the best.
I love them.
And the
They're
Village
so
Women.
funny.
Yes.
They
all
are
yeah.
They're so
Yeah.
cute.
The comic relief. I just feel like they bring so much. Well, I know Do you guys have a favorite character?
Of course it's Captain Reed,
Yeah.
but you fall in love with all of the groups.
You do,
Like,
yeah.
just everyone involved. So it's
Common.
so well written that you just end up loving everybody.
Yeah.
I guess my favorites would be like scene by scene. When she comes and they all like
They
go
all hug.
and hug her.
Yeah.
And
that
then
was-
Captain Reed's like jealous. And,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought the development of Pyoji-soo was really good because initially he's just kind of like this grump, but then you're like, all right, he's this grump
He's
with
my
a
favorite
soft
comrade.
side.
It's just so funny.
And by the end of it, he's like crying when he thinks something happened to Sadie. you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so good. At the end, when he's announced as the new captain, he's like sitting up and
Yeah, so
smiling.
proud.
Oh, it's
I watched
brilliant.
that part
It's
over and over.
literally, it's brilliant writing.
Yeah.
It's got to be brilliant directing too. The acting, I'm sorry, we don't have anything this good in Hollywood. Nothing this good. The weaving of the story and the directing, what the director can bring out in the
Yeah.
actors.
Yeah.
I don't see anything this good in Hollywood.
Just the quality of it,
Mhm.
right? I don't know how much you really knew about Korea before you guys watched this.
0.
I knew nothing. And now I feel like these are my people. Now I feel like an affinity toward them. I love them.
Yeah.
And I want to go and get to know people of South Korea.
Yeah. I love that. I love
Our
that
friends.
because yeah.
Yes,
because-
my comrades.
Yeah, your girlfriend. Because I feel like that is exactly what Korean dramas do well. They do such a good job of introducing Korea as a country, a culture, right? I have a good friend who's never been to Korea, and he's like, I want to go to Korea so bad just so I can try Korean fried chicken.
Yeah.
And I'm-
It's so
looks
good. It
so
looks
good.
so good.
Yes. And I like tell him, I'm like, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
So
It looks
good.
so good.
Oh, it's incredible.
I mean, were you like, oh, I'm going to Korea. I don't know if I'm going to like this cuisine. You were stoked from the start.
I knew next to
Right.
nothing about Korea.
Yeah.
I like most food, so I wasn't worried about that. But what I was not ready for is how much I would like be obsessed with everything. Right?
Yes.
Like you get there and you just go there with like no expectations, and then you get there and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I am
In love
obsessed with this country and like everything. And I just think the drama does such a good job of conveying Korean culture, mannerisms, things that Koreans find important.
I've proselytized this to at least 50 to 75 close friends. One of the things that I say, not only will you love the show, it's such an incredible show, and you'll love the story, and you'll love the characters and the romance and all of that. I'm like, you need to watch it because your children need to watch this so you can appreciate a different culture, a different point of view, and understand what's going on in North Korea and
Yeah.
understand how South Koreans are. One of the best things about it was the education it gave to
Yeah.
my family
Yeah.
about Korean culture.
Absolutely.
And we just totally fell in love.
You mentioned you've shared it with a lot of people. So directly alone, how many people do you think you shared Crash Landing on You with?
At least 50.
At least 50.
At least 50 texts this long
Yeah.
that I copy and paste, change the name. And of those 50 people, at least 30 to 40 of them finally took my word for it because
Yeah.
I didn't let it go. I'm still working on a few.
Yeah.
And then the texts just start coming in.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite thing ever. You were so right. I remember when I got your text. And I was
And
like,
you're like,
"Yes!" You were such a skeptic.
I
And I
totally
was
was.
like, when I got this text from you, oh my gosh. It was like, you, period, were, period, right,
Yeah.
period. Best show ever.
Yes.
Everybody who watched it, of course, 100% of the people who watched it died over it.
Yeah.
And then they told their moms and their grandmas
Yeah.
about it. And then their siblings watched
You've like
it.
literally created this family tree of
I have.
Crash Landing.
I think at least 100 or more people can trace their recommendation back.
Yeah. And like who knows like how many people beyond that, right? Do you have any like favorite minor characters? So for example, my favorite minor character, I forgot his name, but it's like Sadie's like assistant, the kind of bigger guy, who's so concerned about her. He's like crying all the
The
time.
insurance guy.
The insurance
The
guy,
insurance guy.
that duo.
I
mean,
know.
this is what Crash Landing absolutely nails.
Developed
It's the minor
everybody.
characters, right?
I know.
Like, I feel like it's the detail.
Yeah.
And that is like such a hallmark of Korean culture. They work so
Yes.
hard they're not gonna cut any corners on this.
Yes, even the brothers.
Yeah.
And the brothers' wives.
Yeah.
And so you think, oh, both brothers are terrible people and both wives are terrible. No.
Yeah.
Only one brother and one wife is
Right.
evil, but the other one is just a bumbling idiot
Right.
with his wife,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
who's
His,
just as dumb as he
Biggest
is.
supporter cheerleader.
They're not evil,
Yeah.
you know, and so like you get to see, oh, he's not very smart.
Yeah.
This one is calculated and she is evil. Even the character development of them was so interesting to be like, oh no, they're not the same. They're,
Yeah.
you know, very different. And I love just kind of the nuances of the changes in those ones.
They do such a good job, and you feel like, I know these characters so well, but then when you think about how much time they're actually on the screen, it's very minimal.
I know.
And that shows
Or
like
even
the
like
quality.
the NIS director.
Yeah.
Like he has a bit of a personality, and he's
Right,
developed a little bit.
Yeah, they have all these people that just have so much personality.
The village women too.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, they were amazing.
Those characters felt like they were all developed. Like the rat's wife.
Yeah.
You understood her storyline.
Right. Like why she's kind of the quiet timid
And then
one.
the woman who was like the head, you know, and to see her like up here the whole time, and then she takes her crash, you
Right.
know, and then to see their kindness toward her, you know.
and when
was-
they protect the rat's wife when they're about to be taken away,
Yes.
and they all step in and prevent that from happening. Like they just looked after each other.
And what's that one who is just so funny? She's always
Oh,
like ready to like
she's
punch
like
somebody.
the head of the neighborhood committee.
Yeah.
or whatever.
She is the
She's
best.
She's great.
One more scene I thought was one of the best parts of the whole entire thing was when Seri is around the corner with Captain Ray's mom. And Captain Ray comes to his dad
Oh.
and gives that
He's like,
speech.
tell me she's okay. Tell me
Yes.
she's okay.
And he's like, I don't want to live if she's, you know.
I love Captain Ray's mom.
Oh, that was
She's so sweet. Yeah.
such a great part. You see the incredible sadness of his mom and the predicament of his dad. And his mom is like, we have one son left. And his dad is just like, I'm trying to keep us all alive,
Yeah.
but you're putting me in a bad spot, you know, with his position in
Right.
government.
The favorite scene that pops off to me is like when you think Captain Ree in South Korea is there to fight all those guys by himself. But then you see them show up in their suits, the
In their-
comrades,
Oh,
and you're just like,
yeah.
yes!
Totally.
Yeah.
And you see the comrades fight for the first time.
Oh, I know.
Because like
I
in
love
North
that.
Korea, you're like, you only see them on patrol. You
Right,
don't know
right.
that they're actually
Yeah.
trained martial
And
experts.
I didn't know they were special forces until
Yes.
they say, he's like, we're special forces, and he like punches the guy in the head.
It's cold
yeah.
Yes,
outside.
so they're actually good backup.
Yeah.
That was
And then
so awesome.
the rat comes out and he's so short and he like
But they're
Chokes
all
him.
in
Yeah.
these like super expensive 3-piece.
Yeah, they look so good, right?
When Captain Ree is trying on the clothes,
Oh.
and the
And the
shop
girls jump.
assistant,
Yeah. And
It's
Sadie
like-
starts to get like jealous.
you look amazing.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, go back. Go.
He's like, change it to something.
I also like the part when Yoon Suri was still in North Korea and he's like biking up and down the hill just kind of
Just to
watching
catch
her.
her coming out of
Yeah.
the
He goes back.
He's like,
I just loved it so much that I just want the people I love to embrace like not just the show but the people and the country and the culture.
Yeah.
That's what I loved so much about it. When a show can make me fall in love with people in a different country and make me feel for them
Yeah.
and make me think about them.
Yeah.
Like for weeks, I would have dreams about North Koreans and
Yeah.
I would have dreams about South Korea. Or, that's a powerful show that does that,
Absolutely.
you know?
To me, that tells me that you're really into it because it's not just like, oh, I just like the show.
Oh my gosh.
It's that
you love
you
it.
love the show, but then like, you know, you're so into it that you're learning more about the culture. I mean,
It was so fun to watch together as a family.
right.
Because we were like, every single day we were like, oh, I can't wait to start another episode tonight.
Yeah.
That was so fun. That's where I'm like, I haven't found another TV show or movie that has the same full family appeal. So it's my third official time. So after I watched it 2 times, we will just sit down every other night and just fast forward to our favorite parts.
Yeah.
And then we had enough of that, and now I'm back to watching it like in
Straight
chronology.
through,
Yeah.
And I know that I'm the 11-year-old who loves it the most in the entire world.
I have no doubt about it.
Here she
No
is.
doubt about it.
Right here.
Yep.
She watches it all the time. I'll wake up.
Whenever I can.
Usually she's up watching like cartoons on Saturday morning.
Not anymore. Oh wait, the mug. We didn't show the mug. We have to show the mug. And this is such like a...
Iconic Captain.
Yeah. So you got this one made too?
Mm-hmm.
I made that at Costco.
You did. So, Brahman, I heard that you were planning on studying a little bit of Korean. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to study it on?
Just like the words and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So when I go one day, I will understand what they're saying.
Yes.
And I can actually talk to like Koreans, like if I'm at like one of those markets, I can
Yes.
talk to them.
I always tell people who text me and they're like, I'm so sad it's over. And I'm like, no.
It's never
You just
over.
watch it
Just
again
run it back.
because you get so much more out of it the second time. But there's so many funny little details. Just like the funny acting.
Yeah.
It's just background stuff, but it's
Yeah.
so good. It's so brilliant.
And the
Okay.
most important part is when you say 10 nice words to your plant.
Yes.
I'm doing it
Love
right now.
that.
Yeah, so never in my life have I ever dug a hole and put a plant in the ground with hopes of cultivating something.
Yeah.
I saw these tomato plants and I was like, I need to become a tomato cultivator. And I dug 6 holes, put 6 tomato plants in, and we say 10 kind words to them
Wow.
every day.
See,
And my whole family
Oh,
calls me
that
tomato
personally.
cultivator
This
now.
is-
You need to come
Nobody
out and
else
see my
has done
tomato
this. I'm
plants.
certain
I do
nobody else.
personally.
We are over an hour deep.
You've got a
Gotcha.
lot of editing to do.
I could go for 2
And,
more
oh,
hours.
I am certain of that. I think I especially love that you guys are just so much more interested in Korean culture now. And you wanna
Totally.
go to
In
Korea
fact, my sister,
Mhm.
her whole family took a whole month of learning about Korea after Crash Landing.
Love that.
So they rented books from the library, read a bunch of books about North Korea and South Korea, and tried food, and like spent an entire month devoted
Love that.
to Korean culture.
It's not just like a TV show, right? It's a movement of culture and it helps spread culture. And it's just like,
Totally.
I think for you guys, Crash Landing will always, like, even if you found another Korean drama that
Yeah.
was maybe more entertaining in the future, you know, one that comes out down the line, Crash Landing will always probably be #1 because it's like what introduced you.
I'd rather live in a shed in South Korea in the spookiest place than have a private island all to myself.
Love it. Love
She
it.
says that all the time.
Yeah.
That she wants to move to South Korea
In
and
a
live
shed,
there.
I
In
don't
a
care
shed.
where
Don't
it
even
is or
care
in
where.
a shed. Just live there, eat the chicken, meat, you know what I mean?
Thanks so much for coming on as the world's biggest
Biggest.
Crash Landing on You
Right
fans.
here.
I love that.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. We'll see you guys next time. Love it.
Good job.
Awesome,
You talk
awesome.
So much.
Well, sorry, but I am obsessed.